Okay, listen, we need to talk because DoorDash is out here making thousands of dollars a month, inspiring people left and right, myself included. But now everybody and their cousin is trying to do YouTube. And unfortunately, they're trying to be her. Now, I need you to understand something. And when I say this, I mean it for real. It will not work. And no, it's not because you're not talented, creative, or hardworking. It's because you're not DoorDash. And honestly, even DoorDash is not trying to be DoorDash. She's just being herself. And that's my whole point. So if you're sitting here watching her success thinking, shoot, I'm going to just do what she does and watch my channel just blow up, I need you to take that thought and put it in the trash right now. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the real reason DoorDash is winning. What's her secret sauce anyway? It's simple. She's just her. She's not trying to follow some YouTube blueprint. She's just hitting record and showing up as herself. And people love it. They feel like they're sitting in a room with her, having a real conversation with a friend or a family member, getting her advice. And that's why they keep coming back, myself included. So let's make this clear. Her success is not about some magic strategy, secret algorithm hack, or expensive camera setup, because she already told us that she uses her phone, her cell phone. It's about connection. And you can't fake connection. People can tell when you're putting on a show versus when you're just being you. So copying her won't work. And let me say this again in case you're just skimming this video for the important parts. So here it is again. Copying DoorDash will not work. This right here is where people mess up. They see someone winning and they think, okay, cool. Let me just do exactly what they do and I'm gonna blow up too. Let me tell you why that is a terrible plan. First of all, people follow the person, not the format. YouTube, it's not about what you do. It's about who you are. People aren't watching DoorDash just because she talks about having loose skin removal surgery or going from being a DoorDasher to a YouTuber. They watch because of how she talks about it. It's her storytelling, her energy, her way of making people feel like they're in on the journey with her, even when she's joking. And by the way, if you haven't seen her YouTube shorts, they are hilarious. You got to watch them. I mean, you could copy everything, or try to, like her topics, her posting schedule, her video style of not editing. But at the end of the day, you're still not her. And if people wanted to watch a DoorDash knockoff, guess what? They just go and watch DoorDash. Make sense? And then we have the Mr. Beast effect. You see this all the time with Mr. Beast. People try to copy his videos, his editing, his giveaways, but do they get the same views? Nope. He has like millions of views. Why? Because people aren't just watching Mr. Beast for the cash prizes. They watch him for his storytelling, his personality, and all his insane ideas. So yeah, you could recreate the look of someone's channel and do a similar thumbnail with arrow pointing this way or that way or whatever, but you can't recreate the feeling that people get when they watch you, because feeling is everything. Now, what about authenticity? Because that beats strategy every single time. So, like DoorDash, she doesn't have some complicated content strategy. She's just real. She's not out here with fancy production, over-edited videos or some gimmicky hook. She just talks and sometimes preaches, but people feel it. So instead of asking, how can I do what she does? The better question to ask is, how can I create that kind of connection in my own way? Let's dive a little deeper into that question. What value are you actually bringing? Now, this is the real question, because what are you bringing to the table? You know, like in a relationship, your partner wants to know what you can offer before they get too involved with you. Well, are you actually telling stories that help people? I mean, we all have a story to tell. I get lost in my own vlogging sometimes myself. But how is it helping anyone? Is there a point to it? Are you teaching something? Are you making people laugh? Are you making people think differently about a topic? Because value just isn't information. It's the way in which you deliver it, the way you explain something or break it down, the way you tell a story, the way you make people feel. That's what makes people hit that subscribe button. Well, how do you stand out among the millions and actually win? Because if copying DoorDash isn't the move, what is? The answer is simple. It's scary, but it's simple. Be yourself and bring value. What do you bring to the table? So instead of asking, how do I be like DoorDash, ask, what do I naturally talk about all the time? So much so that people roll their eyes and maybe even avoid us when they see us coming. Ask yourself, what life experiences do I have that could help someone else? What's something that I can make 100 videos on without getting bored? Because the most successful YouTubers, they're not doing unique things. They're just doing things in their own unique way. For example, there are niche creators who win just by being themselves. Let's look at some YouTubers that I like who blew up without copying anyone. The first one I want to talk about is Ali Abdaal. He has a channel about productivity. He didn't just say, you know what, let me do generic productivity content. No, he brought his doctor's perspective into it. His first video was about medicine and studying. It wasn't until later on that he began talking about productivity. But his spin on it was the science behind it, which made it evidence-based and engaging. Do you know Kelly Stamps? She began her channel during COVID. Instead of forcing a bubbly personality, she leaned into what she was good at, her deadpan humor, which came natural to her. It was her real self, and that's what made her stand out. How about Call Me Chris? She didn't just follow trends, her own weird, offbeat humor made her a star. And one of my favorites, Myron Golden. He's a business coach and a consultant. Now, he's also a preacher, and he talks about becoming wealthy from a biblical standpoint. And that's his own spin on the business side and wealth. So what do they all have in common? They owned their personality. Stop overthinking and start posting. Here's the real problem. People watch DoorDash and get inspired, but then they don't actually do anything. They overthink. They wait for the perfect idea, and they compare themselves to everyone else. And DoorDash, she just started. Now, she didn't just blow up overnight. It took her a while, and people need to realize that. She's been on YouTube since 2019, and since the time of this video here that I'm recording now, she's made over 450 videos. So she's got some skin in the game, for real. But she put in the work to see her success. But as she put in the work and practiced making videos, she says she realized that she just needed to show up for herself and as herself. She didn't need to pretend she was anybody else. Now, she didn't know if that would work for her. How could she know? But all she could do was to keep showing up. And that's what she did. She didn't have it all figured out, but she hit that record button and she just decided to do it. And then one day, finally, being herself, her channel finally blew up. And that, my friends, is the real takeaway. The fastest way to figure out what works for you is to start posting. Not overthinking it, not planning, just posting. DoorDash didn't blow up by trying to be someone else. She showed up as herself. So if you're watching this and feeling stuck in any kind of way, it's time to stop overthinking. Find your voice. Create your style. Get in front of that camera. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares. It's the only thing that's stopping you. All right, so if this hit home for you, don't just sit there. Let me know in the comments what's stopping you from hitting that record button. I really would like to know. So please comment below. And if you're still overthinking all of this, I have one last piece of advice for you. Post the video. The end. That's all I'm going to say. That's the tweet. Post the video. And now, go make some magic happen after you hit the subscribe button for my channel. Bye, darlings.